I want to talk candidly and raw. I make no apologies for not being polished. I make no apologies for this being unedited or uncensored. I make no apologies for any feelings that I may hurt in what I am about to say. Because if it hurts your feelings, if it triggers you, you were meant to hear it. There's been some very weird energy ever since the Lionsgate portal. Very intense, powerful, roller coaster energy. And of course, the solar flares have a big part in that. Our solar system is changing. Our planet is changing. We are changing. If your vibration, if your energy isn't where it needs to be, you falter. And because energy is fluid and energy affects everyone, if you falter, you also cause others to falter as well. Energetically, you are attacking them, whether you realize it and want to or not. I have many things to talk about. And I'm not sure where to start. And I'm not sure that this is going to do any good to anyone. But I pray that it will. All too often lately, I have personally witnessed great people, souls that I admire, souls that I love, exude narcissistic, ego-based love first of themselves. I teach that you should have self-love, that you should have clear boundaries, that you shouldn't let people cross those lines. And I mean that. I really mean that. You should have those things. And yes, of course, you have free will, so you can judge and decide where you let that line curve or bend and flex. But you also have to have compassion for others. Real compassion. Not the fake kind. Not the kind where you say you have compassion, but when it comes down to it, you really don't. I'll give you some examples. Your spouse is supposed to be someone who you can love and trust and tell anything to. Too many of you don't have that. But rather than keep your clear boundaries and walk in compassion, you'll stoop to their level. You'll say and do ugly things. And it's okay in the moment. It's okay. You gave yourself permission. It's okay. Let's say you have a best friend who you're supposed to be there for each other. But only one of you is really there for the other one every time they need you. The other is so caught up in their self that everything that you say, they have to make it about them and hijack the conversation. I witnessed this the other day in a situation where someone was very distraught and really needed love and reassurance. And there was more than myself there present. And the majority of the people were trying to give compassion and encouragement and love and reassurance. But one person chimed in and interrupted and hijacked the conversation, making it about them. Even redirected the conversation to someone else. Completely shattered this soul. And no, they didn't do it intentionally. I don't think they did it to be malicious. But they did it nevertheless. And I sat back and I witnessed this other person that was distraught. I witnessed their face drop. I witnessed their despair. And it hurt me deeply. I've witnessed those best friends. I've witnessed those spouses. I've witnessed siblings, parents with their children, even grown children, and the way that they interact. And what I witness is not good. The good doesn't outweigh the harmful, the hurtful, the selfish acts that I witness. I'm not trying to shame anyone, and I'm not trying to seem like I'm holier than thou. I have flaws. But not like that. I am very strong. I'm very brave. And I have thick skin, but in my 49 years, I still cannot understand Why people don't choose compassion first. Why do you not choose that first? Why do you not feel the energy of the other people in the room enough to choose compassion, even when you claim that you do? Even when you claim that you're good, and maybe for the most part you are. But not when it comes down to the wire. I just don't understand. And yes, there's a personal reason for me to cry and question and even make this video. It's multi-layered. It affects me on a personal level as a human. It affects me on a soul level as a collective. And it affects me on a higher level. Because if you all don't get your shit together soon, you're not waiting for a savior. You are your savior. You're each other's savior. You're my savior just like I'm yours. The few of us that are out there right now that know who we are, all of us, that know what we can do individually and collectively, we could save everybody. We could, because we are that strong. And side note, all of this negative energy that's been trying to get me lately, you don't win. We are not supposed to be your saviors. We are here to be way showers. You're supposed to be the student that genuinely wants to learn, that genuinely wants to put in the work and the effort, so that you too can affect the outcome for all of us. And dare I say, to experience this life again and feel all this pain and betrayal and see it all around us, witness it, empathically have to navigate it. Not too many of us have a very good attitude about that. by saving you. You who would choose to be narcissistic, even if you don't want to admit that you are. Competitive when not necessary. Trying to feel important to fulfill your own weaknesses and needs at the expense of others. Do your work. Look within. Be honest and real with yourself. It's easy to see it in others. It's really hard to look within and see it there. But it's necessary. It's very necessary. And yes, you have free will. Does your free will really outweigh the good of all mankind? Because that's where we're at. You can listen to all your meditations and all of your tuning forks and all of your binaural beats and sound bowl healings and all that other stuff. All you want. But if you're not really doing the work internally, we're fucked. And I know, in our little spiritual circle, I'm not supposed to say things like that. It's supposed to be all happy-go-lucky, right? No, it's not. That's the point I've been trying to get across to all of you. It's sticky. It's ugly. It's messy. It's energetically up and down like a roller coaster. You constantly have to fight. You are in battle. This is a war between good and evil. The battle lies within you. Don't you see? If you win on the inside, you win on the outside. We all do. Doesn't mean become a saint. It means use your moral compass. Get back to the basics of who you are as a soul, as a person, as a group called humanity that depends on each other to survive and this planet. What are you really doing to heal this planet and other people? What are you doing in your daily mundane life, in your chaotic world? What are you really doing? How many of you are really getting lost in your ego and your poor me's, or your drugs, or your alcohol? How many? How many of you can honestly say that you walk a life daily of being thankful, of being grateful, of being compassionate to others? Would you rather live in solitude? Away from people? Why? Because you don't like them? Why don't you like them? Because they remind you of yourself? Because you're just like they are, but you don't like how they are, so you just leave them? Kind of a fucked up scenario, don't you think? If you want to see this world change, you have to be the change. You have to get out there and shine your light. Show compassion. Help lift each other up. Heal each other. Listen to each other. Nurture each other. Not feed your own soul. That's not all you do. When I tell you to love yourself first, that means just first. Not only. Not just you. Just first. Love you first. And then go out and love the rest of the world. Treat them compassionately. Treat them kindly. Reach out to the people that need it, not the ones that don't. Not to gossip. Not to try to fit in. Reach out where you're needed. Truly needed. Yes, I'm in rare form. And I do apologize for that. Because I honestly wish I wasn't here right now. I'm straight up seriously disappointed with several people that I know right now for recent behaviors. Not necessarily even toward me, toward others. Because that's the difference between me and those people that are busy in their poor me's or their drugs or their alcohol. I'm very present in the moment. I see all of it. I'm taking all of it in. They choose to ignore it. Though they're seeing it too. All of you are seeing it. You're always seeing it, no matter what. You choose to ignore it. Free will. Free will. There are changes coming that I have absolutely refused to go into detail on, simply because you're not ready to hear it without allowing fear or panic. It's like that wonderful proverb that I love to write. He who knows and knows not that he knows. Right? Because if you don't have the eyes and the ears to hear what I have to say, it defeats the purpose of saying it. You have great ability. You have great power. You're not ready to believe that. And that's a shame. You would rather give in and succumb to self-centered ego, fear-based news, bad ideas that were dreamed up by people that you follow that you think are good people. And that's a whole nother can of worms. There are so many of you following these people and praising them that are really just schmucks in sheep's clothing, getting in where they can fit in so they can confuse the masses. And boy, are they doing a good job. We definitely have a worthy adversary at hand. Many of you have been duped, including followers of this revolutionary movement that was supposed to make you think for yourself. But all it did was change your lane. You don't think for yourself. You're not standing up for your rights. You're not standing up for your states and your countries and your people. You might be bitching about it. You might be talking about it. But what are you really doing to change it? Are you focusing on a change? Are you thinking of how it could change? No. Instead, you're thinking it's a good idea for all the truckers to go on strike and cause more strife for the people. You're thinking that you should follow these people that are actually reptilians and vampires. And letting them get into your energetic field and create chaos and havoc in your life. And why is that? Because they gifted you? Did you win something? Did you get to be on their show? The devil is sneaky. And though there's not a devil in hell, per se, there is a devil in every demon that walks this planet. And some of them are quite attractive and very good con artists. Yeah. Too many of you are busy being busy. Busy in your mind. Busy in conversations. Busy in your research. What you should be busy doing, in my opinion, is minding your thoughts, controlling them, slowing them down, utilizing the important ones and focusing them into an actionable creation. Ideal outcomes. No, don't put your head in the sand and not know what's going on around you. But also no, don't read every bit of research you can finally get your hands on, because we're in the information age, for God's sakes. They just found a new way to keep you busy. A new way to program you. A new way to sheeple you. And it's all in the guise of you waiting for another savior. Yep. Somebody to save the vote. Save you from the newest, latest drug on the market. Or illness. give you a bunch of money, monthly even. Yeah. Come on, guys. That's like you being duped, okay? You're being duped. You're not thinking for yourselves. Them giving us money, monthly money, regardless of where they claim they're going to take it from, is still socialism or communism. You're being duped. Wake up. I am so frustrated. I'm so frustrated with all of the intelligent, beautiful people that I know that are allowing themselves to be duped in some fashion or another. Some of them are too busy drinking to even really care. I don't understand what's happened. I mean, I do, but I don't. How is it so easy now to manipulate? I don't get it. And again, I mean no offense to anyone. I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not trying to piss you off. I'm not trying to run you off. I'm trying to get you to think for yourself. I'm trying to get you to see what you're doing, where your energy really is, where your heart really is. You know? Enough of the love-hate relationships. Enough of the yo-yo bullshit. If you want to be around somebody and you love them and you want to support them and be their friend or be their whatever, then do that. If not, then walk away clean and stay there. Enough with the yo-yo stuff. You know? Consistency. That's another one. Consistency. The thing I have noticed the most lately is that there's a lot of consistency in being inconsistent. Ah, the irony. Yeah. Lots of people I know. It's bizarre how I can read the scene, if you will. I can read the energy of the situation, and I can peg it before it ever even happens. And I really want to be wrong. So often. I really want to be wrong. I wish somebody would surprise me. Yeah. I would love that. I would love to be surprised and wrong. I would love for all of you to prove me wrong. We got too many people living in fairy tales right now. They use words like matrix to fuck you up. matrix is inside of your mind. You can choose to step out of it and break free. When you live what I call a clean life, where you honestly are just compassionate and generous, and you give people the benefit of the doubt, and you lend that compassionate ear instead of making it about you, so many things in your life can change. This heaviness lifts out of your body, out of your soul. You start to feel more empowered and strong and confident in who you are. You really start loving yourself again. You know? Normally, I'm very compassionate and understanding with other people and where they're at in their growth. And I intend to remain that way. This energy that's coming in is really intense. We've got new moon energy. We've got full moon energy. We've got Mars in retrograde coming. We've got solar CMEs bombarding the planet. I'm sure the Schumann is showing that. And then we've got all of these attacks from the dark. They're happening to people as well. But we also have tests that are coming from the light to see where you're at and gauge your growth, gauge your strength, gauge the collective's resilience. Where do we go from here? Do we continue like a boomerang that keeps ricocheting back? The in and out, the inconsistency. Do we continue that? Or do we level it out? Do we stand united as a group of humanity, as a collective of souls, all trying to get back home? Free will. Many odds of probability. What's your level of strength? What's your measure of your armor of God? Is it a thick metal with a great shield? Or is it thin like aluminum and bends easy? Where is your resilience level? Where is your determination level? My heart is heavy. that won't last. I won't allow it. And you shouldn't either. I should hope that each of you listening decide from this moment forward, without the need to speak it out loud, make up your mind to be thoughtful, put your thoughts to good action, useful action, beneficial action, not just for yourself, but for the betterment of mankind and this planet. There have been many things, situations, in the past 3 weeks, particularly, that have tried to stop me, or slow me down, or shut me up. This is my vow to all of you. I don't shut up. I don't quit. I don't give up. And I don't lose. Because I don't do anything I can't do well. We will win. But the level of winning, that's up to you. So do you join me? Really join me? And do your part? Or do you leave it up to people like me to just get us through? The choice is yours. I'll see you at the finish line.